Do you call 5th grade your senior year?
Oh.
The audience has requested that I interview Bob of the Hoover boys. Not Brad, not Leo, not Bill, but Bob.
I'm Bob.
So, ready to
Why wouldn't they want Brad?
ready to get it done? I don't know.
I don't know. Everybody wants Brad.
You're more interesting than Brad.
I'm the boringest Hoover.
Really?
Oh, no, you.
All right, Damien Friendly Gear. I'm gonna do a quick interview with Bob Horst. Horst. The Hoover boys. You guys requested it, so here it goes. Who is Redneck Bob?
Who is he?
Tell me about yourself.
He's me.
Tell me about yourself, Bob.
What would you like to know?
I don't know.
What would they like to know?
What do you do for a living?
I don't do anything for a living anymore.
There you go.
I metal detect
Yeah.
and cook dinner.
Cool.
I go to the store.
Grew up in.
I grew up in Baltimore City, but my family's from West Virginia, and I went back to West Virginia for a while as a late teenager, and then had to come back here because there's no work or anything to do there. That's about it. I lived in the city, close to the county line, and started metal detecting. Am I jumping into your questions?
No. Maybe. Have you ever worn a wife beater to a wedding?
Never.
Never done that?
Never.
Out to a bar or anything like that?
Never.
All right. You might just be pink neck, Bob. We'll find out. All right. So why metal detecting?
I don't think rednecks wear wife beaters.
Well, you know. So I got.
That's confused. There's a thin line of confusion between rednecks and white trash.
Yeah. Well, I got all these questions
They'd like
from.
those.
I got all these questions from Foxworthy's. You might be a redneck.
Nice. Real nice.
So and some metal detecting questions.
The big furry thing's scaring me. It's
All
like
right,
talking
so-
to a Muppet.
Why metal detecting? How'd you get into it?
I have an uncle that always had a metal detector as long as I can remember. When I was a kid, and whenever we went anywhere, any family function, to a park, anywhere, he always had his metal detector with him, and that's how I got hooked.
How long you been doing it?
Over 30 years.
Awesome.
I imagine I got my first one was a old Radio Shack.
You're jumping ahead again.
Oh, I am? Oh, okay.
It's all right. Go ahead. Your first one was
I'm a talker.
It's all right. The first one was an old Radio Shack.
An old Radio Shack that I got at a flea market, I do believe.
Do you remember
And
the
I
model?
used that. No, I do not. I used it for a really long time. I know it was pretty cool. It was like supposed to be like designed, I guess, for relic hunting, because the coil, you could detach the bottom of the shaft, and the very part of the bottom of the shaft actually had like a bicycle grip handle on it when you took it off, and you could just hold the coil in your hand to like scan walls and inside basements and whatnot.
Cool. Have you ever mowed your grass and found a car?
I've found lots of things mowing my grass, but never a car.
How'd you meet Kurt and these guys?
Oh my goodness. I was using that World Wide Web thing one day and just started looking for, thought somebody had to make a video, metal detecting video, and I started looking and I saw that there were lots and lots of them. Then I narrowed it down to the area I lived in, and I found them guys.
Cool. How long you been hunting with them?
How long have I been hunting with them?
A year to the day.
Probably about a year to the day.
All right. Let's see. Do you think a Volvo is part of a woman's anatomy?
It is, isn't it? You said Volvo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
I
a
learned
yes.
that in health class. It's
Cool.
a dirty part.
That's a dirty lady part.
Yes.
A Volvo.
It's a dirty girl part.
All right. So the next one was, what was your first detector? You already did that one. Does your coffee table at home, did it used to be a cable spool?
It did not, but I actually have disassembled cable spools in my backyard to build tables out of.
Okay. Do you get a little business on
But
the
nobody
side?
wants one.
Ah.
So now I'm just going to burn them.
Well, maybe this interview will spike interest in your cable
it
spool
could.
tables. What do you think your best find's been, besides that ridiculously
Well, I think
old
everybody
coin
knows
today?
what that was. That's probably my best find. Probably my absolutely best find. In other people's opinions, my actual favorite was that hammered 1561 coin, because that's just a really, really old coin.
Wow.
And I've known for a long time you don't really get into this hobby to get rich. So whatever the gold ring would be worth doesn't mean as much as the history of that coin. And so I think that's my favorite find.
Have you ever had to finance a tattoo?
Never. I only have one, and it was a one-time lump payment.
All right. What motivates you to keep going?
Mostly being able to get out and see Brad John's dig.
I couldn't hear all the crunching. I think I heard a beer right in there.
Yeah. If anyone had that option, that's a great motivation.
Do you have a shrine at home dedicated to Brad's butt?
Well, there are certain things I was not supposed to talk about. That's probably on the list.
So no comment on that?
No shrine. No
Okay.
shrine to Brad's butt. Oh, I'm sorry.
What other hobbies have you been ignoring?
Ignoring? I haven't hunted or fished in like 2 years since I hurt my back. And those I would have done way more frequently than metal detecting. And then I found these guys, and
Stalker.
this is almost all I do now.
I thought you've been ignoring the hobby of being a good husband.
No, I try to be a good husband every day. Now I'm a housewife husband.
Yeah.
I do all the
Another word
chores.
for that.
House husband.
B-I-T-C-H.
You know I can't spell.
What advice do you have for newbies?
Oh, for newbies, buy the best machine you can absolutely afford at the time. If there's a better machine that you'd rather get than the one you've saved up to get, then save up that extra few months or however much it takes and get that best machine. And just go super slow when you're learning your machine. And dig every signal. Dig absolutely every signal, and you'll learn what the machine's telling you every time you go over a target.
Do you call 5th grade your senior year?
Oh, I think the second time was my senior year. The second 5th grade was probably was the senior one. Yeah, I was a junior and a senior in the 5th grade. Yes, it was really they said I was special being able to do that.
What do you love most about metal detecting?
Oh, being able to come out with these guys, or you, or any guys, or anybody, and it's just fun, and the friends that you make, and the people you meet, and just finding super cool old stuff in the ground.
Yeah.
I love the junk. I love junk, rusty junk.
Have you ever climbed a water tower with a bucket of paint to defend your sister's honor?
Not my sister's honor, Brad's honor. And that was only 3 times, I think.
What was the
never
mess-
my sister's
what,
honor.
What did somebody paint up there?
Oh,
What did Stout paint up there?
yeah. Oh, yeah. We can't discuss that.
Can't
on
say
air.
it's a family
No,
channel.
it was absolutely
It's
filthy.
it's a family channel.
Yeah.
What do you hate the most about metal detecting?
The obvious answer would be pull tabs. And can slaw. I think those are my 2 least favorite things. Absolutely. the world would be so much better without can slaw or pull tabs.
Does going to the bathroom at night at your house involve shoes and a flashlight?
No.
Alright. If you could go back and start the hobby over, what would you do differently?
I would do a lot more research to find older, more historical places. When I started, I only went to schoolyards and parks and playgrounds and whatnot, and I didn't even think about, plus there was no internet when I started detecting, so you had to been able to read and stuff to do that kind of research, and so I just went to the places that I saw driving around, and that was it.
Do you consider the last words of the Star Spangled Banner to be "Gentlemen, start your engines"?
I do not, actually. I am not, I'm not a NASCAR redneck, believe it or not. I like cars, I like fast cars, but it's entirely too involved of a hobby, being a NASCAR fan.
Where do you see this hobby going in the future? Like, what do you think the future is going to bring?
Much more elaborate, hard to use, technically advanced metal detectors that will pick up more pull tabs and can slaw and make people much angrier.
All right, so these are some requests from the Hoover Boys channel. First off, do you Manscape?
I do Manscape. Absolutely. Every man should. Yes.
Have you ever brought back more from the garbage dump than you went with?
I actually have, yes. Quite often. Yeah. It's one of my favorite stores.
All right.
Better than Dollar Tree?
Way better than Dollar Tree. Yeah, way better than Dollar Tree.
What is Barth Matter or Barth Matar?
Barth Mater?
Barth Mater.
Oh,
okay.
Man. There was an incident with, on a dig we went on with a guy, I'm not going to mention Bill Hill's name, but the dude stayed in the hotel and he had to sleep with this ridiculous Darth Vader mask on and hoses going to the ceiling and out the windows, and one, I think, to like the exhaust fan in the bathroom, and it was bad news.
CPAP machine.
It was very bad news, and he still it sounded like he was wrestling grizzly bears under the covers. And I may have tried to convey that to someone after I had a few beers or something, and they said Barth Mater, and that where that came from.
Did you attempt to shut it off to get some sleep?
I attempted to do lots of things with those hoses while he was asleep. None of them worked. And I probably shouldn't mention the other parts of that story. Yeah, I don't want to upset the unknown guy
That
I'm
person
talking
you're not
about.
gonna mention.
Yeah, Bill, I didn't say your name. All right.
All right. I appreciate it, man.
My
You're good
pleasure.
sport.
Absolutely.
It's all done.
Yeah, let's go dig some
Let's
good
dig
stuff.
some more.
Yeah, let's do it.